Neymar's return to the World Cup, Brazil's final gamble, or their greatest hope? For months, Brazil held its breath waiting for one name. When Carlo Ancelotti stepped onto the stage to announce his World Cup squad, the atmosphere suddenly changed. The room froze in anticipation. Then came the moment every Brazilian had been waiting for. Neymar. The reaction was immediate. Cheers, emotion, relief. After nearly 2 years away from the Seleção, Brazil's all-time top scorer was back. At 34 years old, Neymar would once again wear the famous yellow shirt for what could be the final chapter of his international career, a true last dance. But behind the emotion lies a much bigger question. Is Neymar's return really good news for Brazil? Why Neymar's return could change everything. Carlo Ancelotti made one thing very clear. This was not a nostalgic decision. Neymar was not selected because of his legendary status or because of public pressure. According to the Brazilian coach, the forward earned his place through his performances and improved physical condition at Santos, where he scored 6 goals in 15 matches this season. Ancelotti explained that Brazil had closely monitored Neymar throughout the year and believed he was finally ready to contribute again. More importantly, the Italian coach emphasized that Neymar would not receive any special treatment. He would have to fight for his place like everyone else.
Yet, even if he no longer possesses the explosive speed of his prime, Neymar still offers something no other Brazilian player can replicate. This current Brazilian generation is filled with talent. Vinicius Jr., Rafinha, Rodrigo, Endrick, they are fast, dangerous, and technically brilliant. But Neymar brings something deeper: experience, leadership, and emotional weight. He is the last remaining superstar who truly understands the pain of Brazil's greatest football tragedies. He lived through the humiliation of 2014 and the heartbreak of 2022. Those scars matter in a tournament where pressure destroys even the strongest teams. Neymar knows exactly what it means to carry an entire nation on his shoulders. And perhaps that is why his return feels so powerful. For millions of Brazilians, Neymar represents more than just football. He symbolizes joy, creativity, flair, and the emotional soul of Brazilian football itself. Even after years of injuries and criticism, the passion between Neymar and the Brazilian people never disappeared. The moment Ancelotti announced his name proved it. Brazil still believes. And maybe, just maybe, this final opportunity could unlock one last magical tournament from a player who has spent his entire career chasing the one trophy that always escaped him: the World Cup. Because football has taught us one thing repeatedly: never bury a champion too early.
Or is Brazil taking a dangerous risk? However, emotion alone does not win World Cups, and this is where the doubts begin. No one questions Neymar's talent. At his peak, he was one of the most gifted footballers of his generation, a player capable of deciding matches completely on his own. But football is ruthless, and time eventually catches everyone. The Neymar of 2026 is no longer the unstoppable phenomenon who dazzled the world at Barcelona or during his early years at PSG. Even during his final seasons in Paris, signs of physical decline had already appeared. His acceleration slowed down, his explosiveness faded. Then came serious injuries, including the devastating knee problem that kept him away from the national team for nearly 2 years. Today, many observers believe Brazil is relying more on memories than reality. Even if Neymar arrives fit, another concern remains: durability. One bad tackle, one awkward movement, and Brazil could once again lose him during the tournament. His body has become unpredictable, and World Cups demand intensity every 3 days against the strongest opponents on earth. But the concerns are not only physical. Throughout his career, Neymar has often struggled emotionally under pressure. Moments of frustration, conflicts with referees, emotional reactions, and unnecessary controversies have repeatedly damaged both his image and his teams. At 34 years old, those flaws have not completely disappeared. That is why Ancelotti's gamble feels both fascinating and dangerous. By selecting Neymar, Brazil gains a possible spark of genius, but also accepts the risk of emotional instability, tactical imbalance, and physical fragility. Meanwhile, younger players like João Pedro or Richarlison may wonder why they lost their place for a player whose best years are clearly behind him.
Brazil's biggest question before the World Cup. Ultimately, Neymar's return represents the perfect reflection of Brazil itself, a nation divided between hope and fear. Hope that one final masterpiece still lives inside its greatest modern star. Fear that the past is being romanticized while football continues moving forward. But perhaps that uncertainty is exactly what makes this story so captivating. Because if Neymar succeeds, if he delivers one final magical tournament and helps Brazil lift a 6th World Cup, his redemption arc would become one of football's greatest stories ever told. And if he fails, it may mark the emotional end of an unforgettable era in Brazilian football history. Either way, the world will be watching.